Have you ever wondered how JavaScript performs operations on data? Well, it's all about operators and expressions. These are fundamental concepts that allow us to manipulate and evaluate data in our scripts. First, let's talk about operators. These are special symbols that perform operations on operands. Take arithmetic operators, for example. They carry out operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Think of a statement like result equals 10 plus 5. Here, plus is the operator performing the addition operation on the operands 10 and 5. But what about assigning values to variables? That's where assignment operators come in. They allow us to set and update values. An example would be x equals 5 or x plus equals 3, which is a shorthand way of saying x equals x plus 3. Moving on to comparison operators. These come into play when we need to compare two values. They return a Boolean result, meaning either true or false. For instance, 5 strictly equals 5 would return true, as would 10 is greater than 5. Logical operators also return a Boolean result, but they perform logical operations like and, Oregon, and not. For instance, true and false returns false, while true or false gives us true. Then we have Unary Operators. These are operators that only take a single operand. For example, incrementing a variable x by writing x plus plus or decrementing it by writing x. There's also a special one called the ternary or conditional operator. It's a shorthand for an if-else statement. For example, is 5 greater than 3? If yes, return yes, else return no. Lastly, we have bitwise operators that perform operations on the binary representations of numbers, like 5 and 3 or 5 or 3. Now let's shift gears and talk about expressions. These are combinations of operators, operands, and variables that evaluate to a single value. Arithmetic expressions perform mathematical calculations like 5 times 2 plus 10 divided by 2. Logical expressions evaluate to a Boolean value based on logical operations. For instance, true and false or true and true would return true. Conditional expressions like the ternary operator we talked about earlier evaluate to a value based on a condition. Assignment expressions assign a value to a variable, like x equals 5 or x plus equals 3. Function call expressions call a function and evaluate to the return value of that function. For example, calling an add function with 3 and 5 as arguments. And finally, array and object expressions create arrays or objects, like declaring an array with 1, 2, 3 as elements, or an object with name and age properties. So, to wrap up, operators and expressions are the building blocks of JavaScript programming. They are essential for writing algorithms, conditions, and calculations. Understanding how to use them effectively is key to writing concise and efficient code. So keep practicing and exploring these concepts, and you'll soon find yourself writing JavaScript like a pro.